Q&A. I don't mind. I have a little bit of time here. I noticed that there's this cool feature. It's called pop-out chat. And then I can go like this. So let's take a look and see what this is looking like. Alrighty. Alright, so SONU says hello. Hello to you, sir. Asmin says, hey, Chris. Hey, brother. How are you? Great to see you. Free State Flipper says, just lurking for some free tips. Thanks, Chris. Here's a comment for the algorithm juice. Yes, comments are very important. Likes are very important. If you found value, again, so others can find the video, give a thumbs up. If you hated it, thumbs down. I hope that you didn't like. I hope that you didn't hate it. I tried to give. I mean, I'm giving you tips, and I'm giving you the tips from the lessons that I had to learn the hard way. You see, so don't learn it the hard way. I mean, you can go out and do that, but there's no need. All right, moving down the list. What's up, Chris? Hello to you, Kazu. The right group, SEO, says you're always give good tips. Peace and blessings. Thank you, the right group, SEO. Michael says, hey, Chris, how can I join your training program? Michael, I'm not sure which training program that you're interested in, but you can go to chrispalmerseo.podia.com. If you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see a button there. It's purple and it says training in it. Click that and then it'll list the trainings that I currently have available if you're interested. If not, I also have some giveaways there. You could get some download lists. I also have plugins. I have themes. I have Grammarly. I have VPNs. I also answer questions. There, you don't have to, if you just have questions, send me a message. All right, going down the list. So I was wondering how Chase can rank without backlinks. I mean, he's definitely very open. What's your name? Soursop Warrior. He's a definitely open gentleman, and I think that he would be always more than happy to answer and help you with any of those questions. But I can say this: I did go through one of his current, one of his programs. Because when he helped me the other day, he came on. He said, "Hey, he learned some of my stuff, and he said, "Hey, which one of these would you like?" And I said, "I'd love to learn this." So I did. I went through his. I think it's called Authority something. But he walks through his process, and it's actually quite. I mean, I don't want to pitch his stuff, but the way he's setting up the engagement to funnel through to his pages is quite remarkable. It definitely took him some time to figure this system out, and I think that it's very beneficial. I thought it was pretty cool. I think that having a relatively large following on social media, which he does, he has an amazing Facebook group. When he puts out something, people know that it's generally high quality, and people are going to go and see what it is. User signals are becoming day by day the new backlinks. So, I'm not saying that they're replaced backlinks, not by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that user signals are increasingly important. So when you have a gentleman that has such a large following or anything like that, take a look at Brian Dean and Neil Patel in the SEO industry, which is the niche that I'm in. They have high-ranking websites for tons of keywords, and on their pages, they're using YouTube videos where they're driving and generating clicks and traffic to their site. Not only are they able to push their rankings up on YouTube to where they're getting more clicks to go to the page, but they're also going out to the website. Then it's back and forth, back and forth. So, when you have a large following, it increases your traffic and visibility, which increases your clicks and your user signals. Hence, increased rankings on any platform, websites included. So that's how he does it. But to break it down would be, I think that's like a 3-hour thing of how he's doing it. But he's definitely a cool dude. You can message him. I don't know about like Facebook message, but he's a great guy. Reach out to him. I think he's a marketer, but he's a genuine guy. All right, so that's enough there. Moving down the list. Hey Chris, great info. Thank you, Steven. Greg says, if I have different SIMs with separate mobile data, how many devices could I get away with for low difficulty? Well, you can always, so if you're using devices, you're able to, if you have multiple SIMs, right? Or multiple phones that you're using, physical phones, which I've used, you should be able to, if it's only one property, you should be able to generate enough extra, if it's coming in from the right places, to supply a boost for you. All right, so without getting into too much there, Greg, that's really the answer you're looking for. Steven says, can I ask friends and clients to do searches, then click through, then call me via Google searches? Would that also work? It depends on how many friends you have and how long they'll do that for. For the first month, if you just do it a month. But the question is you need something that's long-term that you can do, that, for say 10 minutes a day or 15 minutes a day, you can utilize this. And as you change it, you can also scale it. All right. So as you start changing the clicks that are coming in, this is now the new norm. You need to increase month over month. That's where people, I think, get lost in the sauce, is once you change things, this is now your new norm. And anything less than this is now a decrease in rank. So hopefully that helps you. Hunt for Trade says, thank you. Never a problem. Domain Authority says, what tier linking tool do you recommend? SEO Autopilot, Ranker X, or Money Robot? I don't really, I don't recommend any tools, any like link building tools. The only tool that I recommend is, because it's helped me so much, is Surfer SEO. As far as building links, I have used Ranker X and I have used Money Robot. I've never used SEO Autopilot. I wouldn't recommend using automated linking for any tier 1 or anything that's pointing directly at your site. So with that being said, with the increase, with the decrease in prices of links, right? I just don't understand why I would want to be using automated when I could get generally quality links pointed into branded assets that could be powering my website, But if I were to choose any of those, I might go with Ranker X, but it does have a very, very steep learning curve. And I also like GSA. I don't know why it's not on the list. Money Robot has one feature in it that I really like, which is embedding. And embeds are super powerful for multiple different reasons. So that I've never used SEO Autopilot. I know a lot of guys are pumping it right now, promoting it. But I've never used it, so I can't really say. Warrior says, appreciate your answers and thank you for the live stream. Always my pleasure. I'm just here to smash that like button. I'll be back later to watch. Cheers. Thank you, Crowley Official. Appreciate you. Soursop Warrior says, will your training teach us how to obtain IP and desired geolocation using the VPS without physical phones or physical location? My training is designed so you can take it and set up your own network. So I cover all aspects that will help you get a competitive advantage, and this is by no stretch of the imagination. I mean, the purpose of this was I was getting quite a few questions about, because people wanted to be able to, even without the training, like I'm not promoting the training, I'm talking about traffic because I've gotten a lot of questions, and if people are going to go out and, set up their own stuff, even without me, or they're trying stuff on their own, I wanted to cover some of the mistakes that I made along the way as I was learning, just so you don't have to. That's the objective, you know. But of course, I mean, I'm going to talk about my training, I guess. I'm closing it though, very, very shortly here. I think I'm going to take in like 10 more guys or gals. But I got to shut it down though, because I want everybody to stop around the same time so the questions stop coming in. Gregory says, thanks, Chris. To reword my last question, I have 50 SIM cards, all with their own mobile data, but only times 6 devices. Can I use more than one SIM per device? I understand that it must be in proximity. I mean, yes, you can. Just to give you the, a very short answer without having to get into anything, yes, you can. It's not necessarily the device or the OS or the build. It's all about the IP, the past IP, data that has, what has that IP done in the past. It's not really, depending on what you're doing, it's not really about the device, like the device ID, or any of that kind of stuff. It's not even in the token, like when they're running or they're doing a security check, it might come up like say, oh, it came in from this OS or it came in from this build. It's completely irrelevant of that particular element. What's most important is the IP and where the device is. All right, so hopefully that helps you out. Steven says, about how much would it cost to set up the network? I mean, I don't know about clouds or anything like that. That's not the route I would go. I mean, when you're talking about scaling, you're getting into several $100s a month. But if you want to set up a network for yourself, maybe 5 sites, I mean, you can probably do it for $150. Somewhere in that range, you could really get up something that's worthwhile. And the objective too with, teaching people is really to open the doors. Nobody wasn't really getting into it, like not publicly and talking about it. So I thought that it would be a perfect time to speak on it and just open some doors for some, just regular guys. Like, oh, hey, how could I get a quick jump here? Like something that would help me. So hopefully that helps you out, Greg. Yep, never a problem. Also, Greg, you should message me. If you already have the phones, message me on Facebook privately. I'll tell you something. I think you were in some of my trainings before, or you're in my private Facebook group, but message me privately. And since you already have the phones, I'll let you in on something that'll certainly help you out. So you can really take off with that. All right. As long as you're semi-technical. All right. Just give me a 1 if you heard that. But it seems like, we've came to the end of time. I think that all the questions are in. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. If there's any final questions, please go ahead and ask. If not, I will jump off. It's been a pleasure. All right. So I want to go in here and see how this is doing. Any other questions while I'm waiting here? This last part I'll probably chop off, the Q&A, like I always do. All right. Not bad. I'm not sure where I'm at here. I guess I'm down the page here. All right. I'm pretty happy about that. I've been really testing out just density versus word count. I know that it's a very simple test and very old, but I think that it's more important than I was thinking. So I'm wondering if I match density or the amount of variations and the amount of times that a particular word is on the page. will it give the increase, or is it the word count? And what I'm starting to find, like, I just ran it through a tool that I use called Server, and what I'm finding is, you know, as long as you're getting particular words multiple times in the variations, you know, and you're hitting those densities, it seems as though that you're able to get on, I'm able to make, you know, first or second page. I'm just really playing around with it. But in any case, I wanted to test out. Let's see if there's any questions. All right. VPS, I've been using RackNerd. I've been using RackNerd lately. All right. And two, I think, you know, I've been working in the background on a small site. I think I'm going to start doing some more tutorials based around affiliate, just to help more people. You know, so I think maybe we'll start doing that. But it looks like we've done this. I watched a video where you embedded Neil's article on YouTube. Did you do follow-up yet? I didn't see it. Well, I mean, we can talk about that briefly. So yeah, I embedded Neil's article into SEO science testing. I did a page called SEO science testing, and if we do Control F, Chris, the page. I think I took that page down. Let's take a look here. Let's look for SEO science. Control F and Chris. Yeah, I'm popping for those, but the page, I think, you know, for particular words, it was showing up at first, but I think I took that page down. Let's see if I have it up here. I think I took that one down. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. Let's go check here. Yeah, I took that one down. SEO. Yeah, I think I took it down. Let's double check. Let's see here. Oh, you know what I've been doing? I've been working on this, compiling a list. I just don't know if it's worth. I have a question for anybody that's watching. What does generally, as a group here, what do people generally, when you guys are getting your general citations, let's say 200 citations, what are you guys generally, like, what's the, because I've been working on a tool to create citations, so you can go in there, and here, take a look at this. I put this in here. Let me take a look. Check this doc out. Oh no, this isn't it. This isn't it. But they say, like, oh, these don't index anymore. Here's another one for you right here. You know, like, they still show up in the SERP, and I took I didn't publish to the web. I took it off there. I just put that anybody could find it because I was just running some tests, but yeah, I took that page down, my friend. So I'm sorry that I wasn't able to find that for you. What is this? Any other questions? Interesting. Okay. All right. Let's see if there's any questions. I did. Yes. Oh, I mean, if that's all you were getting at. Well, for the particular keyword where I was repeating it, for that article, it wasn't the article that did it. I took those particular keywords and embedded the keywords into the frame. When I reran the test, the article was not as beneficial as I put just the keywords and repeated them to match density inside of the embed. I did it the same way, and that did show benefit. But by putting the entire article in there, it didn't really it didn't perform how I wanted it to. So I hope that that helps you out. Yeah, it didn't perform how I wanted it to at all. So not at all. Oh, this might be it. Let's try this. SEO science test. I think I took that actual page down where the whole article is in there. I think I took it down because here's this. Yeah, oh, that page is there. Okay, so it's SEO science test. So here's the embed. No, I didn't take it down. I thought I did. So yeah, here's what I did. I'll show you. I couldn't figure out what I titled it. So I took this, and then if we take a look at the source here, I'll show you. View source. I'll show you what I did that it actually did benefit. So if you go in here and we go to iframe, and if you take a look in here, here, look. See how, I hope that you can see this. Are you still on, Steven? You still here, buddy? I hope that you are, because I'm doing this for you, brother. Steven Cruz, you still on? Give me a 1, Steve. Yeah, okay. Because I don't want to really show this, but I'll show it to everybody because you're here and you asked. So yeah, so here's what I did. I took the headline key term, the title term, and then what I did is inside of the frame, instead of the entire article didn't show benefit, because what I started doing was I was watching it inside of analytics and watching it inside of Search Console. And I think I checked on SEMrush a couple times. But with that said, here's what provided the benefit. And here it is. See how I put these inside of parentheses? Here's SEO, science, testing SEO, SEO, test, Chris Palmer, testing, search engine testing, right? You see? And then that's the end frame. And then if you take a look, SEO science testing, SEO, and we head off here to the SERP, SEO science test, I'm ranking right underneath. I mean, there's no volume. So SEO science test, that's what I'm pulling in. So, I mean, there's no volume though. So within the whole article, it didn't provide any benefit, and this isn't in the wild test. So, there's no links going to this page. It's an orphan page. You saw there's no internal linking going to this page. It's just an orphan page. I was simply just set it up just to test that. And this is just nonsense writing. Like, I wrote this very, very quickly. The page isn't optimized, in my opinion. I think it's very low optimization. But yeah, so that would be my recommendation, not the full article, but just your term just a few times to increase, because yes, it's rendered, yes, it's seen. The only thing I was trying to do was increase the amount of times that the head term was on the page. Okay, but look, they're not catching it, but it's read and rendered by Google. All right. Yeah. Let's try SEO science. I'm not sure. Or just SEO test. Yeah, it's just my videos are popping for that, which is pretty good. I think that has a lot to do with it too. You know, like my videos are popping, but you know, I think that has to do with the page and how I did that. So in any case, hopefully that helps you out. Cool, thanks. Yep, no problem. All right, hey from Brisbane, Australia. Great to see you, Heath. So I think that's about it. Black Hat. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Maybe one day. I don't want to, you know, that's not the aim of my, you know, that kind of stuff is just, you know, it would have to be something very private, you know. And I would really want to know that you weren't doing it, you know, your objective. I don't know. It's just not what I want to do. Showing people how to do that. So I think I'm gonna hop off here. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everybody. Jason, you're funny, man. I appreciate everybody though. Thank you so much for coming on. If you enjoyed the video, please a thumbs up. If you do have you know, I don't pitch, but if you are thinking about a theme or a plugin, if there's something that you know, something that you've been looking for and you want to try it before you buy it, I'll let you do that for $4. I have like 30, you know, like 3K, 2,500 different plugins and themes. Message me. You know, I have Group Buy, which is really, I don't think I added it yet, but I have different VPNs. 6 months, $10. It's shared, and you'll be sharing it with one other person. And they're groups. I think the account's allowed to have 3, but I'll sell it to 2. Sometimes I'll sell it to 3. But yeah, I was able to get a bunch of them at one time, so I'm sitting on a bunch of them. So if you need VPNs, let me know. And I'm going to add Grammarly. And depending on particular companies, depending on programs, I might do a group buy too to help people out, because I think that a group buy would be beneficial. I think that it would be beneficial. You know, a really good friend of mine runs one, and I'm thinking about. I just think it would be solid because a lot of the other ones just don't work properly. So yes, hopefully everybody found value today. I hope that the traffic tips were helpful. I'll definitely see everybody in the next video. Thank you, and have a wonderful night. See you in the next one.